Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video I am showing you some DIY fall decor projects I've been working on. These are made from stuff I picked up from the Dollar Tree and the Target dollar spot. This was supposed to be one video, but it would be really long because I did work on a couple projects, so I decided to cut it into two videos. This is part one. First thing I'm going to be starting with are these bright orange styrofoam pumpkins I found at Dollar Tree. I'm gonna go ahead and paint them with this paint I had at home. This is just flat white interior paint. This gave them the finish I wanted, and it's also super inexpensive. I didn't put anything before I put the paint. I just went ahead and started painting them. I am using a sponge here, but later on I used a brush and that worked out much better, so I'm just giving you guys a heads up. This paint worked out great because it gave the pumpkins a matte finish and it also dried super quick. While those pumpkins were drying a little, I went ahead with this black matte spray paint and I painted this last pumpkin I had. I did have to give it 2 coats to cover it nicely, and also the spray paint did mess the styrofoam a little bit, but it was totally fine. You could go ahead and use paint if that's all you have. But then after that, all I did was go back to my pumpkins and apply a second coat of the white paint to cover any orange that might be showing, and that's about it. Once the pumpkins were pretty much dried, I grabbed this metallic gold acrylic paint I had at home and this tiny brush from the dollar store, and I just went ahead and painted gold the little green stems popping out of the pumpkins. Once everything I painted is nice and dry, I'm going to bring it inside and start on my projects. Here I'm just showing you everything I'm using. This pumpkin I did off camera just to know what I was doing so I could tell you guys how to do it, if that makes any sense. And then yeah, I'm gonna get started with this little stand I found at the dollar spot at Target. Since I'm using this as a little decorative sign instead of a bookrest, I decided it needed some life, so I went ahead and grabbed this gold marker and traced the thankful in it, and then I'm also going to be adding some glitter. Now to add my glitter, I'm using this glitter glue, putting some in this plate and using this tiny brush to put glue wherever I want to add some sparkle. Once I've done that, I just grab this gold glitter I have and I sprinkle it wherever I want it. I'll tap off the excess and then this is what it would look like. You could go ahead and leave it like this, but I decided to go back with that gold marker I had and give it a couple different touches in other places. Then I decided to go OD with the gold and trace the thankful again, which I think made it look sloppy, so I went back with this Sharpie. It's a brown Sharpie, and I just traced the edges of the word, that way you could see them a little better. And I think that gave it the perfect touch. Now we're moving on to a little garland I did for my fireplace, and this is using all stuff from the dollar spot at Target. For this I'm using this little burlap flags and this fall sign that I found at the dollar spot, as well as some little lights that you'll see later on. So once I get this off the package, I am going to place everything where I want it, and I am actually going to be using this straw string that the flags came with instead of the white string that the fall sign came with. So then I go ahead and grab my glue gun and these leaves that I bought at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just gonna go ahead and place the leaves between the flags to bring the garland a little more life. On top of giving the garland some life, I'm using the leaves as separators between the flags. That way they don't move and get crunched up. So all I'm doing is putting glue on each corner of the leaf and attaching those corners to the corners of the flags. Once you found a color pattern you like, all you're going to do is do the same on the other side of your garland. This is what it ends up looking like. Then I put it up on my mantle and decided to add up the little lights from the dollar spot. Those are those little balls you see there, and these flowers at each end because I thought they would look really cute. Finally, to finish, I just made sure everything was nice and straight, and I also had to hide the battery pack for the lights, so I decided to glue it to the back of a flag, and that worked out perfectly. Penelope was very excited about it, and this is what the garland ended up looking like. I absolutely love it. Now we're going to be working on the Dollar Tree pumpkins we painted earlier. I decided to put some designs on them and make them a little family thing. So this one is going to say Dad. The one you saw earlier said Mom, and I did it off camera just to figure out what I was doing. So the first thing I did was pick a lettering, and I wrote down whatever I wanted on the pumpkin on a piece of paper. That way I knew exactly what I wanted on the pumpkin, and it would just make things easier on me since I'm just freestyling it and doing it by hand. You are welcome to use stencils. It will probably make life easier on you. I do enjoy drawing and doing lettering, so this was fine for me. But once I had the design on the pumpkin with a pencil and I was happy with the way it looked, I went ahead with my gold marker I used earlier on my other project, and I just started tracing the pencil writing with the marker until I was happy with the design. I love this pumpkin so much, I seriously want to give them as gifts. I wish it was like a Christmas thing so I could give people some customized pumpkins. So once you're done drawing on your pumpkin and you're happy with the design, this is what your pumpkin ends up looking like. I love the way this turned out, but because I am so extra, I decided to grab these pins I found at Walmart. These are just flathead gold pins I found at Walmart. This box was $1.88, and I'm gonna go ahead and put them on my pumpkin to just spice it up a little bit and make it a little more unique. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in a ridge of the pumpkin, and I'm gonna place them about half an inch from each other. You just press them down with your finger. This is styrofoam, so it's really quick. This is the design I'm going for, but again, you could choose whatever design you want, or you could just leave them without the little pins. I just thought this made them look even cuter. Once you're all done with your pins, your pumpkin, it's all done. All I'm doing here is erasing some pencil marks that I didn't cover with the gold marker. And then I'm going to do Penelope's pumpkin. I just wanted to show you once again what it looks like when you draw it on the pumpkin. And also with hers, I did mess up a little bit when I was using the marker, so I couldn't get a lot of the pencil off. So I found this chalk marker at home and I used that to cover any pencil marks I saw, and that worked out really good. And that's it. This is what my pumpkins ended up looking like. I absolutely love them. And again, you could leave them like this and place them wherever you want in your house, but I decided to do something else. So because these pumpkins are going to be on top of my mantle, I decided to stack them on top of each other. So all I did was take off that little styrofoam stem they came with, and that stem was attached by a toothpick and some glue, so it was easy to take off. But I went ahead and used the same toothpick just to keep them together. I didn't want to put any glue because I wanted the option to be able to separate them, so I didn't want to ruin them. The last pumpkin I put is the baby pea pumpkin. I left the stem on that one, and I also perforated a little hole with a pin so I could place this little leaf. These were orange leaves from the dollar store. I spray painted gold, and I just put them at the top of the last pumpkin with some little hot glue, and that's about it. That's all done. Okay, now I'm really done with these, and this is the final product. I love the way these turned out. I think they look super cute, they're unique, and the best part is that they were so inexpensive. I mean, you could buy this at a store for way more than what I paid to make them. I think it was $3 for the pumpkins, $3 for the marker, and I already had the paint, so it was super cheap. This sign as well, $3, and all I did was add a couple touches to make it a little more unique. And then this last pumpkin also turned out super cute, and all I had to use was the chalk marker I already had and the spray paint that was $1. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for part 2, and I'll see you next time.